I want to show you something very interesting I came across recently. Show this, I have my Git repository here. I just named it trial v1 and it has a main.py. And this got nothing to do with Python and everything to do with Git. To show what I have, the setup is a Git repository, and I have committed everything so far, every change I have, and it just has one commit where I say I've added the main file, and this just happened recently. To show this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and then rename this repo or the folder to trial v1. The only difference that you see is instead of capital V1, I've changed it to small v1. And when I did this, I expected Git to actually show me that it is a change, but it didn't. So this went on for a while. I was very confused as to why this was happening. Even if I do main.py, it isn't going to recognize it as a change. That is a very weird behavior because in Python, your packages are case sensitive. So if you do capital or small, it really affects the way your import really works. And you also need to keep track of these changes. Why is this happening? Is because of a configuration that Git provides. So by default, Git has a config that is in the core module. It's called ignore case. By default, it is set to false on certain file systems. Um, and this changes when you clone it or certain init, but in Mac, or at least what I've seen, the ignore case has been set to false by default. So sorry, set to true by default, which means it does ignore the case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it false. So I'm just making it false for that particular this one. So now if I see git status, now it recognizes main.py as a change. So I will go back and make it main.py. This status is now I have nothing to commit. And if I make it capital V1, it's gonna again say that it's not tracked yet, you have made a change, just make commit it. If you're ever come across as weird behavior where your config is not, your Git is not recognizing certain changes, because it could be because this particular config that is there that ignores your case by default.